Oh, that's kind of interesting.
I feel like that has to be it, whatever it was.
Okay.
You are now listening to the Ja and Fa Show. Ja and Fa Show. Now listening. You are now listening to the Ja and Fa Show.
Holy fuck! Long delay.
Long delay.
Ja and Fa has returned.
Yes, we're back. We're back, better than ever, and we're just owing around.
Lucky, or some would say unlucky, number 13. Where do you sit on that?
On what? Us taking a long time, or us being back?
Number 13. Is it lucky or unlucky?
You know what? Well, there are some people who would consider it unlucky due to the strange origin of 13. I personally think 13 is a lucky number.
I wholeheartedly agree. 13 to me, I don't know. I think it's a thing where people get caught up in like shit like that, like superstitious stuff, where they don't like this number. I like 1 and 3 next to each other look super clean to me.
Well, dude, and it's so crazy because my grandmom's favorite number was 13, and it wasn't like her birthday or anything. She just like, I think her reasoning was just like she'd hit that on roulette all the time, and she's like, "That's my number." And I don't know. And ever since then, I was like, 13's cool.
Yeah, some people just have like a weird natural attraction to it. Like, I don't know. I've always found it to be a nice number. I've always liked 3. I have 13 tattooed on me. I like the number.
Do you think everyone's like assigned a number, like in their life, like, and if you know that number, it really comes in play, like for you at points, like gambling or something?
That is that was a great question, man. That was a
really
great one. Yeah, I actually I've never really thought on that. You know, I think people tend to assign themselves a number, but like when a number comes to you naturally, and I feel like you could recognize it, like you're right, like your grandmom in 13, it's just her. You know it in your bones. That's your number.
Right.
Like,
and everyone knows that. It seems like, you know, like because you'll be saying it, and I don't know. I mean, if I had to think of a number, I don't know if this is just me assigning numbers to myself, but I always like the number 24 for some reason. The only thing that I can think of as to maybe why I like that number was because I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And there was like this really cool dragon. And I don't know how number 24 came involved, but I always think of that Yu-Gi-Oh! Card as the reason why I like the number 24.
Is there any rhyme or reason to that?
Were you thinking there's going to be like so 24 is going to be involved in this, and then I have no idea.
I like it though. I like it.
But that is true. That is why. That anytime I think of why I like 24, and of course I love 17, but that's because that's my birthday. I feel. Now that's an interesting concept. Is the number that you're like birthed on, is that your number being given to you? But sometimes, you know, you gotta like crack the case, and it might not be that number.
No, you're right. I've actually you posed a really good question for real, because like I've never really thought about it. Like, and you know, numbers do pop up a lot, and I'm sure a lot of numbers do pop up, or some numbers in a way must pop up more, or maybe it's just that you're looking out for them more if you have a particular like liking towards that number. Like I've always liked number 3. That was always my baseball number because I liked Babe Ruth. I knew that. I thought Babe Ruth was cool. But I mean, I don't think that's like my astrological number, if that makes sense.
Right. You might need to add a 1 in front of there or 2. Or
yeah,
something. Maybe. Do you think anyone's number is in the 3s?
It might be. I've also, you know what number I've also always felt like a weird natural attraction to? 99. I've always just liked the way 99 looks.
Yeah, that is a cool number. Man. Yeah, well, I like your diversity because I feel like you have one really low at 3 and one at 99, where I like 17 and 24, and they're both kind of like you think of both, and they're similar in ways.
I've known you as a 17 guy most of my life.
Yeah, Big Slice 17 or Big Slice 24, you can say.
Yeah. What a riveting conversation we're starting off. The dumb numbers we like more.
Riveting. Well, dude,
welcome back to the John Show.
We're just getting started, right? Was that a cold open to a cold open?
Yeah, a little bit.
Dude, well, it's good to be back.
It's great to be that good. I've been dying for moments like this.
No, it's great to be back, man. It's been too long. Me and Ja actually had some pretty exciting things going on, but I'm most curious to hear about Ja's trip to Wyoming. I've never been there, never saw myself ever going there in my life, and I want to know more about it.
Yeah, I'm glad to have the floor for a moment. Well, first and foremost, I will say, like, okay, this sounds stupid, but like, you see Wyoming and you hear Wyoming, and even you look at it on the map, and you're like, that place probably doesn't even exist. I don't know what even goes on there, right?
That's how I feel. That's how I feel about it.
Can confirm, it does exist.
That's good.
That's really good.
You're like an inside man, because this was always a theory I had that it was just a fake state.
I feel like a lot of people, for some reason, had this weird theory that it was a fake state. And you know what? I can say with all sincerity that I cannot believe how good of a time I had out there. It is everything you could want in a vacation and more. If I was a little kid, I could not implore parents enough to bring their kids to Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Park in their lifetime.
That's really nice. That's good. So yeah, so one of the questions I have was how are the people there? Like, what was like the service like? Like, if you stopped anywhere like that? Like, I don't know. Like, what was the overall feel of the people who lived in Wyoming?
Super friendly. It gave me imagine the vibes you get at Wildwood in a way, in terms of it like being a shore town and a vacation town plugged in one town in Wyoming. Because imagine it like this, like, but there's almost nothing out there. It's almost all area for wildlife to live, right. There's Grand Teton National Park and Yellowstone are like back to back to each other in the corner of Wyoming, and there's this long road that goes down about 200 miles, and you can essentially go into town. It's about like 70 miles down a straight road. Go into town, it's literally like 4 blocks by 4 blocks. There's a bunch of bars, shops. It is like the quintessential, like, if you're thinking like on a classical movie where they're in the Midwest, and it has the town with the stores, like it is that. It's awesome. It was a really great time. And then you drive 60 miles back to your cabin. You have no cell service, nothing. It is pitch black. It's awesome.
Dude, so another question. So there's like no McDonald's or like chain, like, I don't know, Waffle House.
There actually is in town. They have there was Wendy's. Like, we actually ended up needing to go to Wendy's one night because it was we went into town on Sunday, but we didn't realize everything closed early on Sunday. So we just rolled to the Wendy's and just got 4 for 4s.
Guess what I had today?
What?
Wendy's 4 for 4.
What's your go-to 4 for 4?
For the Wendy's 4 for 4, I get the same thing. I usually get the strawberry lemonade, and chicken sandwich and honey mustard as my
love it. Yep, same chicken sandwich, and then I actually get the frosty, the chocolate frosty.
Oh, is it a junior or is it a small when you do it?
It's the tiniest one.
Okay,
I'm gonna admit something. It sounds wacky, but please try it. Dip your nuggets in the chocolate frosty.
I've heard of this. I've heard of this theory. Maybe from you, actually.
It's like the fries in the frosty, but better. I'm telling you.
Wait, that's what I knew. The French fries in the frosty, not the nuggets.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Right. So anyway, yeah. To continue on Wyoming, it is nice. It's just so. It is picturesque at every turn. Everywhere you turn, you are not going to turn into a source site. It is just gorgeous view after gorgeous view. Mountains that are covered in pine trees, and at the very top they have a nice little ice cap on them, and then the clouds gently pass over them. It is like someone I saw multiple times, people painting pictures of the scene. It is like perfect.
dude. And how are the hiking trails that you did? Like,
They,
and how did
they
you find them? There's
So
everywhere.
actually, Grover was the chief of that. So he,
I'm
of
sure.
course, organized it all. He had a specific spot we were going to do, and I actually, the story about the hike, I actually couldn't do it. I went about a mile up, and I just couldn't do it.
Wow.
Well, there was two factors to this. Number one
Yeah.
being that we also picked the hardest trail
Of course.
on the of all the trails. It said the hardest. We scoped it up before. It was like it said extremely difficult or whatever. I can't remember the word that they used, but it was like experienced hikers should be on this trail, this, that, the other. Like I was like, okay, cool. Like I'm in shape-ish. Like I definitely have extra weight on me right now, but like I'm in shape enough. Dude, we got out there. I was dying.
And what was the main factor for you that like on the hike itself? Like was it the steepness or like rocky, bumpy, just like lost your breath?
All of it, because like I mean, like not only we're 7,000 feet above sea level.
Right.
We're a mile in the air, so my lungs are already dogging,
having a tough time.
Yeah, exactly. And then like it is straight incline the entire time, and like I was like a ninth of the way in, and I was like dogging. So I was like, you know what, I can either keep slowing my friends up or leave, and I was just like, I'm just gonna get the fuck out of here.
And like, do you have to pay to do any of the trails?
No.
Like, they're free, right? You just do them.
Yeah, it's all free. You have to pay technically to get into the national parks.
Gotcha. And so, what did you end up doing?
I went back to the cabin. I was actually going to go into the town and like scope some shit out for the night, but like I didn't want to leave and then have to pay to get back in. So right. I just hung around the cabin. I went to the general store.
Nice.
Got some Wi-Fi for a little bit. Just caught up with the world.
Cool.
Talked to my folks.
Very cool. Dude, yeah, good for you, man. It sounds like a good time.
It was. It sucked to have to admit defeat on the trail and say I'm leaving, but like I'd rather do that and say, hey, I'll get her next year than slow up everyone and feel like a drag the entire time.
Well, you know, this is a perfect point. We've brought this up on the pod quite a few times now, is that you are very in tune with your body. Like you didn't push it because like, yeah, maybe you could have completed it, but you would have felt like shit by the time you came down. But you're like, you know what, man? I'm calling it. You
said it best. You said it best right there. I even said it on the trail. I was like, I know my body. I know I'm not going to make it up there. There's no way my ass is making it up there. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
And it sucks to admit defeat. It does. But like,
of course,
it was better to know my boys are going to have a great time. And they ended up seeing a bear. That's awesome. That's fucking, they had a blast. Exactly. So I know they lived it up and they had a great time for me, you know?
Of course. Good, man. I mean, it sounds like a good group you went with. Sounds like a great time. I wish I would love to do something like that now that I know. Because like I said, I would never think to take a trip to Wyoming ever.
Yeah, and exactly. And now if you need someone who knows the ropes a little bit, I do. You know, I got a general idea of what's going on over there. It's nice, you know.
Dude, well, while you were seeing the beautiful landscapes, we had Fish and Jen come down to the hot tropics of Florida.
How was that?
Really fun, man. We had a great time. I was just telling Tabor we did some mini golfing yesterday and we didn't complete the whole course, and I've never done this in my life. Didn't complete the whole course because it was just too late. And like no one kicked us out per se, but we all just felt kind of weird because we were the only people there. The one woman who was working was kind of like walking around the course, like kind of like, let's go.
Again, it's a vibe check. You knew the vibe.
Right. And it was 4th of July. And we were like, you know what? Like, let's not be dicks and keep this woman here. Like, I'm sure she just wants to go home. You know, and look, we missed like 3 holes. Like, it wasn't like anything crazy. And you know what? We were all pretty dunzo, honestly. I think everyone appreciated a little shorter mini golf game in the end.
Yeah. And, you know, sometimes it sucks to have to say, we're gonna walk out of this joint, but it's for the better. It's for the better of everyone.
You know, we just both gave two little defeat stories.
Yeah, but good stories nonetheless.
But no, and they need to happen. And just real quick, I mean, the rest of the weekend as a whole was just filled with just such stupid, like hilarious, like just good times. Like a lot of good, like just like little memories. You know, it's fun.
Yeah, man.
Oh, this is actually what I wanted to go in and tell you. So like. You know, I love and hate these type of weekends when they're like 3-4 days or whatever. And in those 3-4 days, you sometimes almost get so used to like those people or that person being there, then all of a sudden they leave and it's like, damn, like is the heart, this is gonna sound dramatic, but is the heartbreak worth the fun you have in those short days?
Wow. It always is. I know you're not actually questioning that, but
No,
yeah, dude, it sucks. Like,
I'm not, but exactly.
It sucks when you wake up every morning. You're like, all right, let's get into it. What do we got going on today, guys? And then then that Monday or that next day you wake up and you're like, oh shit, I'm back to mundanity of real life.
No, exactly. And it was just, it's crazy. And then it got me thinking, when you go to an airport, I feel like airports
Where's this going? I can't wait.
I feel like airports are 50-50 one of the saddest and happiest places you could ever be. You know?
Yeah.
Like there's just so much going on at the airport.
You never know. And there's every emotion at the airport. Stress, complete relief, and like there's people who are like desiring to take off and they're ready and they're about to embark on their adventure. And there's some people whose lives are being ruined.
Yeah, dude. Like there's so much going on. And I mean, just perfect example, picking up Fish and Jenny. Like that first night, it's like, guys are here. We got all weekend. Can't wait to hang out. And then today, we're at that exact same place, and all the emotions are different. You know?
Yeah, man. And it's crazy.
And like, I mean, even just like driving down, like you know, like when you're dropping someone off at like their terminal or whatever, and you're driving, and all the other cars are doing the exact same thing. It's so crazy just to see all like the families that are like hugging, or like the ones who are like dapping them up, like they just showed up, or like, you know, just there's characters at the airport.
I'm glad we're talking about the airport, because I actually wrote something down this week about the airport, which was something that we've actually talked about before, which I hate to bring up again. Well, not hate to, but like, I'm going to bring something up we talked about in a way again, which is when you were at the airport after the Sixers lost and you were all pissed off in the plane, and then you were talking to that guy and he was making you laugh and it was making you feel a little better. Mm-hmm. So when I was at the airport, I actually had a really stressful trip on my way home. On my way home, I had a connecting flight that we had a 2-hour layover for in Dallas. Now, Jackson Hole Airport is in Mountain Time, which is 2-hour difference from Eastern Time. Dallas Fort Worth is 1 hour difference. So we were losing an hour already going to the airport. So we only really had about an hour for a layover. Not too bad. That's a lot of time. Well, Grover and I are going to the airport. Well, we're all going to the airport, and everyone's flight's getting delayed or whatever. And then suddenly, we're the last flight of the day at 3:25. Our flight gets delayed. Brutal.
Jeez.
4:25 takeoff. We're still going to have 30 plus minutes to get on a plane. No issues at all. It's getting closer and closer. We get to the airport. We put our stuff down. We're sitting there, we're kind of thinking time out here. We're like, this is going to be really close, and like this is going to be closer than we want it to be, but it's going to be fine. We're going to make it. I talked to a person at American Airlines. Of course, they're going to deflect blame and say, you're not going to miss your flight. But they were like, I'm assuring you, you're going to make your flight. Don't sweat it. Cool. I'm a little less stressed, but super stressed out still.
Right.
About 3:45, we're about 10, 15 minutes away from boarding. Grover and I go over to where we need to be, and we're sitting in the terminal, and the plane's sitting there. No one's been let out yet, the one that we're about to get into. And then they finally start letting people out. It's like, it's already 4:00. We already should be boarding. There's still people flying out of the plane. So we're still waiting at least 20 plus minutes. We didn't board until 4:35. We didn't take off until 5:15. Somehow, some way, while we're in the air, 30 minutes before we're about to land, they tell you to check your arriving flights to see if anything's been changed or your gate's been changed. Our flight got delayed by 13 minutes. 13 minutes, our flight got delayed. Somehow, some way, our flight was supposed to take 2 hours and 50 minutes, and it only ended up taking 2 hours and 9 minutes. We got to the airport at 8:10. We were out of the plane by 8:25. Onto our gate. We somehow made it. It was amazing. Now, what I want to bring it back to this very long-winded story. The sense of community in airports is very nice sometimes. It can be very bad. People are toxic at times, but like ultimately there was this moment where everyone in the back everyone who had a connecting flight was like, oh, wait, what time is yours? Are you going to make yours? Or what's going on? Like, when's yours? Where are you going? Where are you going? And then like we started joking around. And then I was like, at one point I said, we were all standing up about to get off the plane. I was like, every plane I've ever fucking been on has delayed for 15-20 minutes, half hour extra for no fucking reason. Can it please be the one time that I need it to be delayed? Can it be delayed? And then this guy literally just turns to me deadpan. He says, oh, that's you that's always doing that?
Wow.
I was dying, dude. I was dying.
What a character. Man. Dude,
exactly.
I know what you mean. The plane community is an interesting group because like you said, you definitely got the dicks and the people you don't want to deal with. But then, once everyone's put in a situation that's kind of shitty altogether, I feel like you bond over that.
We did, and that was the moment where like everyone realized. So the stewardess at like 10 minutes before landoff was like, everyone with a connecting flight over the intercom, everyone with a connecting flight, raise your hand. Like the entire back half of the flight all raised their hand, and they're like, as you can see, there are a lot of people who need to make connecting flights. Those of you without connecting flights, please try to wait wait till everyone's off so they can make their flights. And it was awesome. Like all the people in the front that mostly everyone that didn't have a connecting flight, I saw just wait.
Yeah, good for that. I mean, that's awesome, and you made it, right? Pretty much
made it
right away.
Made it, and we made it by a few minutes. Like there was a person or two behind us, but still, like I was always going to run to the gate. I was not spending a night in Dallas Fort Worth when I did not need to.
No, for sure.
Now let me give a special shout out real quick to Penguin, who's not listening to this, but the man who was going to allow us to stay at his house if we needed to. Nick Michelli's friend from the Air Force, who is our friend on Xbox now. We reached out to him when we were in Jackson still in Wyoming, and we said, hey, God forbid we need to stay over. Is there any chance we can stay over? He said, of course, I got you. I'll come pick you up at the airport.
Wow. Good for you.
What a man of respect.
What a man of respect. I cannot get over how many nows were dropped on that story. That was great.
I feel like we need a dinger. Like a ding.
Yeah, there's at least 3. Dude, real quick, learned this today from Fish. Don't get duped if you ever take an airline and they say free security check add-on. And it's supposed to add like another lane that you go through that's quicker or something. And Fish was a little weary of this because it was free. So
I'm weary too.
He shows up to the airport and he goes, hey, I signed up for this thing. It was free, but we're supposed to get through like security quicker. And the guy goes, that's just regular TSA, pal.
No.
He had to wait regular time. There was no different like
did he think assholes? He was getting off good?
Yeah. Apparently it was on the app. I was like, dude, what? He's like, I don't know, but I'm taking it. And then they almost missed their flight, but they did make it home and they are safe.
Now on our way there, did JT Thompson confiscate a knife from Ryan Grover?
What?
JT Thompson works TSA in Philly. Ryan Grover had a knife in his bag, and apparently, like, he was just coincidentally in the area, and he saw Grover getting like frisked down because he had a knife in his bag, and JT comes over, takes the knife, and says, "Grover, what the fuck are you doing with this?"
Wait, JT Thompson works at the airport?
Yeah, he works for TSA. How good is that?
So what, did he get to take the knife or no?
He threw it out.
Oh my God. Dude,
how funny is that?
Shout out JT Thompson.
I hope he's listening.
I hope he is too. How's he looking? Same. He
Yeah,
was always a
dude,
big
he's
dude.
great. He's a great guy, man.
He is nice. He's a cool
Yeah,
guy.
yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
that's such a great story. Any story that involves Grover, I feel like it's just ridiculous.
Grover was getting harassed on this trip. It was so good.
How harassed.
Oh, Tony had him so good.
Oh
When we were driving, Tony would be like unbuckling his seatbelt, touching his nipples, touching his ears.
No.
He blindfolded him.
Are
Then,
you
like,
kidding me?
every day, like every single day, without fail, Grover would shower first. He would come back in his bed. Someone else would go shower, and then Tony would wind up in Grover's bed.
How?
Every single day.
Did Grover appreciate that?
Yeah, he did. It was
He
a good
loved
trip,
it.
man. It was a funny
Dude,
trip.
It's so fun. It's fun to really be able to talk to you about it because I feel like we had like a couple little hangout sessions, but I'm pretty sure they're like later and we were tired and we just kind of played and owed around
Yeah.
and got off.
Owed around.
It's nice to hear about the trip, man. It's good to be back. It's we've talked about this too. As fun as those trips are, it is nice to like come back to like familiar things like the John Foff show.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? The other thing is, like, we've talked about this before in the inverse and talking about how bad it makes our routines being on vacation. This vacation is sparking me to be good because I've been waking up early. I've been eating right. I've been eating consistently.
Really?
Good. Yeah.
Good for you, dude. Kind of like opened your eyes in a way.
Yeah, and no, it really did. And guess what? No eye spasms anymore. Done. They're finally done. I feel like I can drink coffee safely again. Boom.
How
Give me one.
safely?
Safely. I can drink caffeine whenever I want.
Now, do you attribute this to Wyoming or a little change or what?
Yeah,
what do you think?
a culmination of all things, you know?
Yeah, just everything. You're doing good for
Yeah.
your body. Your body's thanking you.
Yeah, exactly.
No more eye spasms, Steve.
No more.
Dude, well, if it's okay with you, I would love to get to what made me say, whoa, that's interesting.
Huh?
Is that what this segment's going to be called?
Yeah.
What, dude? Wait.
Whoa.
What, dude? is that Zach if he took a little different of a career path and became like a scientist? Huh. That's really interesting.
Yeah, that is.
But instead he's whoa.
I feel like every once a month, instead of having a what, dude, we should have like a Zach update.
Well, I try to give them. Well, me and Zach are on a little bit of a routine. I cannot lie of talking. I think our days of talking to each other have turned into Wednesday nights.
I like that. Wednesday feels comfortable.
It feels good because I do the stream and then I'm off
and you
on
have
Thursday
off the
anyway.
next morning, so you don't have to worry about being up till 4 a.m. talking to Zach Schubert.
Right. No, exactly. So it's been nice. And I did talk to him a little bit yesterday. He was having a tough time. So shout out Zach Schubert if you're listening in. I really doubt you are, but we love you.
Again, I just like to say, if anyone doesn't know who Zach Schubert is by this point, he's a man that used to work with Keith. A great gentleman.
Great guy.
Very, very, very funny.
He's a good dude.
Very great dude.
He has his issues as all of us do, and he's just a man living.
Exactly. He's the dude. He's very much the dude.
I love Zach. I do.
I do too, man. All right, go on.
All right. So my what, dude? I feel like you're gonna hear him like, okay, it doesn't really matter. But the word, I always feel like I have a word once, but the word dreamt, like I dreamt that I had $1 million, I guess would be a sentence. The word dreamt is the only word in the English language that ends with MT. Your reaction.
Whoa, that's interesting.
Is that the only reaction you can have to that?
That's all I was allowed to say to that.
How genuine. Oh my god. But yeah, so and we are doing a nighttime pod, so always like the nighttime. Oh yes.
Yeah. You got anything else, man?
Dude, I think I'm good. I feel
Let's
good.
keep this one short because we're gonna have 2 this week.
Yeah, so the John Fa pods are gonna start being recorded on Thursdays, I believe. Hopefully Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Still being released on Mondays though, just confirming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Still looking for the Monday release date, but we will start doing it on Thursday, and this is gonna be the week to do it.
Yeah, this one I'm gonna release tomorrow. So this one we're recording Monday night and is going to be released Tuesday morning, which you guys will be listening to, and then the next one's gonna come out Monday. Wait,
Next
so
Monday.
that barely beat? Yeah, all right. No, that'll be all right.
We'll just have a few days, but we'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
Right, and by the time this episode comes out, this is all gonna be over. But we are gonna be doing a little stream, playing some games tonight, getting back into the routine.
Yeah, I can't wait. Thanks for being patient with our schedule. The life happens, but it gives us more stuff to talk about. You can't always just keep going without taking anything in. You know what I'm saying? Like I needed some stuff. I needed the life content.
Yeah, that's interesting. You can't. What did you say?
I don't even remember.
You can't take out what you can't take in.
Something like that.
Anyway, we'll end it on that.
Anyway, yeah, man. Anyway, thanks for listening, everyone. Once again, if you could throw us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts or whatever, or just wherever you listen. I don't know.
Give us good rating.
Yeah, just make sure you let us know you're enjoying it. Yeah, we're enjoying doing it every week as much as you guys are listening to it. So
yeah,
thanks for listening to Lucky episode number 13. We'll see you next week. Not really.
I just realized why you started talking about the number 13.
Really? Early? This might be the Untitled episode.
Ridiculous. All right, I'm done.
All right, great one, man.